Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Monday, the 10th day of August. It is National Shapewear Day.
Okay.
So is that like the stuff that you put on under your clothes to suck this in and push that out? And
yes.
I probably need some of that. Do they make that in my size? National Connecticut Day today. National S'mores Day. Ooh, that's why I need shapewear. And it's also National Lazy Day. And, you know...
Which is also why we need shapewear.
I was going to say, I don't think that we would officially, every once in a while, we'll just unplug for a day. Then I always feel really guilty. So I think if I was truly lazy, I don't think I would feel guilty. So, you know what I do feel, though? I feel pretty darn special because today we're going to talk with Jerry O'Connell. I'm really excited for this.
I love that guy.
He was in Stand By Me as a young boy, and then he was in Jerry Maguire when he was I'd say late teens, early 20s. He was the number one draft pick. And he's got a new project out. This book from 10, 15 years ago called The Secret. They've got a movie about that now.
Yes, this movie looks amazing.
It does. It's called The Secret, Dare to Dream. We're going to chat with Jerry O'Connell all about it on this Movie Star Monday.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. The new way is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A survey found that a growing number of restaurants in Los Angeles are transforming their parking lot into an outdoor dining area. Because there are many places where there are restrictions on how many people can be inside a building. So they're like, well, then let's just do this outside.
Right.
So that's kind of a cool idea. And we're also seeing...
It is, but where are people supposed to park?
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. Well, I wonder if maybe they could just eat in their cars, if that's what they're doing.
I don't know.
That would be a really cool... Remember back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
The drive-ins where you'd pull in and they'd take your order and you'd sit in your car and eat.
I always thought those seemed really neat.
Yeah.
Really
and there's still some of those around, Sonic and stuff. But, that used to be really popular. So, anyway, I've got a link to this survey in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. If you have a credit card, our friends at BetterCreditCards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com. This is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by Time4Rehab.com. Hundreds of people, many without masks, turned out for the 10th annual, are you ready for this? White Trash Bash in Illinois last weekend. Wow. Authorities warned that COVID cases are on the rise in the area. They asked people not to do this, but at least 200 boats filled with revelers packed the Illinois River and East Peoria area. And the all-day bash consists of drinking and socializing in large groups. None of the around 500 partygoers were seen wearing a mask. None were seen practicing social distancing. It says here there was a huge warning ahead of time.
Okay, but here's the thing. If they're all in a boat, I guarantee you those boats are 6 feet apart.
No, because they're all connected together, and they're going from boat to boat to boat to boat. It's it becomes like a big island, basically. Anyway, they say this event has the potential to expose everyone to the virus. So they were very concerned ahead of time. But the show went on, and nobody there really seemed to care. So there you go. That is what happens when your brain is in a boat on drugs. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Tom Hanks is in the news. He's in early negotiations to play Geppetto in Disney's live-action version of Pinocchio. Variety first reported in 2018 that Robert Zemeckis was on the board to direct was on board rather, not on the board, but on board to direct the project. It would reunite Zemeckis and Hanks. They worked together for a little film called Forrest Gump. another one called Castaway, and another one called the Polar Express. I know you probably haven't heard of any of those because, I guess you've heard of
You
all
think
of
it's a
them.
good idea to have Tom Hanks in children's movies?
Would you just... I know, I'm not saying it's a good idea or a bad idea. I'm just telling you that's what they're doing. So that is in early negotiations, so we'll see what happens. Not longer after the XFL kicked off their 2020 season, the league was shut down, and then it filed for bankruptcy. But now Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has entered the picture, and it looks like he and his ex-wife and a group called the Redbird Capital Group are buying the place, the whole XFL, for $15 million. So you'll probably be seeing that on the small screen again coming real soon.
That's pretty cool that him and his ex-wife got along well enough to get into a business venture
That's
together.
Very cool.
Yeah.
He seems like a pretty neat dude. So
He really
there you go.
does.
Big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Now your scoop of the day. It comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Weight loss experts remind us over and over that if we eat too fast, our brain might not know that we're full, and then we keep eating after we're full and we get more calories than we need. Well, here's another reason to slow down at mealtime. Chewing more could mean eating less. Did we need a study for that?
Of course it does.
Studies showed that participants who chew 2.5 times more than the typical 15 times cause them to eat almost 12% fewer calories. Ha ha ha. Headache with all those numbers.
Well, of course it does, because your brain tells your body that you're full. And
if you chew things more, it helps aid in digestion.
Yeah.
We actually have a super smart health coach, Coach B, that talked to us about how many times we chew things. And I remember when we were doing...
We did really well for a while.
We were doing what Coach B told us to do.
We were doing very well.
Oh, yeah.
Old habits die hard.
Oh, yeah.
That is something that
It's
you have
easy to fall
you have
back
to
in. Yeah.
work at remembering to chew
yeah.
your food. How sad is that?
I know. So what'd you learn this week? I learned I'm supposed to
learned
chew
how
my
to
food
chew.
before I eat it. You haven't been doing that in the past? Apparently not.
Apparently
Just,
not.
Taking bites and swallowing. It's like choke. Oop. But seriously, next time you're going to eat something, consciously think, like, chew 30 times. It's going to feel really weird doing it.
It's tough to do.
It is.
Yeah.
But consciously
But you
think
do
that.
get full much faster.
Oh, yeah. You eat less. And that's, again, like these folks in this story say, it is true. Researchers at the University of Exeter say pesky seagulls at vacation spots tend to be deterred somewhat from stealing your food when you just stare at them. Researchers show that with a human staring at a seagull or a herring, they took 21 seconds longer to approach a bag of chips if they were left unobserved. So if you just walk over and look at the bird, you don't have to say anything. You just look at them. They're like, okay, those are your chips. I get it. In Spain, a man pled guilty to having stalked a woman for nearly 3 years. His trial was postponed a couple of times because during trial, he would just randomly start singing Christmas carols.
Okay.
So this guy might need like his own little padded cell or something. I don't know what's going on. If you've been talking by Zoom with a therapist over the last few months, you'll be happy to know, according to a small study, online therapy is just as effective as face-to-face therapy. 3 months after the end of a therapy session, patients gave an online treatment to decide, did this help, did this not? And they said, yeah, it actually did help. So even if you can't get to the counseling session in person, they're saying you could call it in, or in this case, they're doing Zoom where you're, I feel so weird on Zoom.
I kind of disagree with that, but
I just feel weird because I never know what to look at. I'm like, when I'm on those, so I actually just use the photo option where they just see a picture of me. But it's just weird. I'm like, I don't know.
We're on a diet and we have a diet coach.
Oh, yeah.
And for months,
Oh, yeah.
we were doing
phoning it in.
telephone. And we were not losing weight.
Can you
in fact,
mute
we
that?
were gaining weight.
Can you mute that while I'm eating these chips?
And I kind of feel like without the face-to-face
yeah.
interaction, there's no
there's-
accountability. So I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, I'm not saying that it's going to
opinion.
be the case for everybody, but according to that study. This has been your scoop of the day. Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. It's a Movie Star Monday, and we are super excited to chat right now with Jerry O'Connell. Jerry, how you doing, sir?
Hi, John. Hi, Heidi. How are you guys?
We are fantastic, and I love a lot of the characters that you play are so completely different from each other. I first remember you from Stand By Me, then Joe's Apartment, then a little ditty called Jerry Maguire, and every character is so completely different. I think that means you're a super talented dude.
Nobody remembers Joe's Apartment. I can't believe you remember. For those who don't know, I mean, if you have a solid internet connection, it was a movie about a guy who lives in an apartment with a bunch of cockroaches.
It's a funny movie, too. It is so funny. And now you got this new project you're doing called The Secret. Tell me a little bit about The Secret.
You know, it's based on that book that came out about 15 years ago, that Oprah Book Club book, and this is sort of the romantic, big movie, scripted version of it. And it's funny, I play Katie Holmes' fiancé, who is probably not helping her with the laws of attraction in her life. So then in comes Josh Lucas, and he sweeps her off her feet. I don't want to spoil anything for people watching the film, but if you like that secret book, this is your movie. And if you haven't read it, you're going to love it. It's a really positive movie.
I remember when that book came out, there were people who read that book, and it literally changed their life.
Yeah. I was working on something, and I was complaining all the time at work, and somebody at work gave it to me, and I was like, oh gosh, what is this? What is this cult? And I read it, and it really did help me out during a crazy professional time in my life. So I guess you could say I visualized being in the film.
There you go. That could be what happened. And the film is available right now. People can actually watch this from the comfort of their own home. I think if nothing else, 2020 has made it a whole lot easier for us to get out and see movies because you don't even have to get out to see the movies now.
You know, it was supposed to come out in theaters, but of course nobody's going to theaters, so now it's on video on demand. I'm sorry, premium video on demand. And you do, no offense to the theater chains, but you do save a lot on popcorn and stuff.
Absolutely.
I do a pretty weird thing, though, when I watch films at home. I still sneak in food to my living room. I hide it. It's such a weird habit that I have. I hide candy and snacks.
It's like, wait a minute.
Around my body.
Where did you get the Milk Duds? We didn't have Milk Duds. I'm like, oh, we did. Yeah, we did. No, I bought these. Right. I bought these in the living room.
Yeah, I hide them all over my body. It's really strange. It's a strange habit.
When you first got in the movie industry, what was your first project that you did, Jerry, when you very first had a chance to do acting as like a job?
I was in a play in summer camp. I was in Any Get Your Gun, but I guess the first paying gig was I did a commercial for Duncan Hines chocolate chip cookies. And they sang a song called Crispy Chewy, Yummy Duncan Hines taste crispy chewy. I didn't sing that song, but they played it back, and I was like a background artist, and I had to dance.
That's awesome.
I had to march in place. It was like a campsite.
I'm going to have to search on YouTube and see if I can find that. That's kind of fun.
It might be on there.
And then you had the chance to be in a movie called Stand By Me, which was a huge blockbuster in 1986, and such a great movie.
Yeah, it was a real hit. It was an independent movie that we made, and I don't think anybody thought we'd be talking about it 34 years later,
And this is one of those movies that we watched with our kids. My wife and I, we grew up in the 80s, so we have a ton of movies we love from the 80s. So when we had kids, we said, oh, you got to see this. It's just such a great, coming-of-age type story.
You know what? After everybody watches The Secret Dare to Dream, they should watch Stand By Me. It's a great summer film. And
another one that should be on that list is Jerry Maguire, and you got to play Cushman on Jerry Maguire, and that was another movie where this character that was played by Tom Cruise kind of just said, I'm breaking the mold, I'm doing things differently. He stepped out and tried something new, and it was very scary, but hopefully in the end it all kind of worked out. And if you haven't seen the movie, I don't want to ruin it, but your character in that movie was kind of an integral part of the story, wasn't he?
I played the number one draft pick in the NFL, in the fictitious world of Jerry Maguire, and it was really fun to play a pro football player. I mean, that's as close as I'll get any sort of NFL field is playing one on TV,
Well, you did a great job with it. And again, the new project that's out now is called The Secret. It's available now. I'll throw a link to that in the show notes. Jerry, thank you again for taking the time to chat.
Thank you.
Again, Jerry O'Connell, and it's called The Secret, Dare to Dream. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Thanks for listening on this Movie Star Monday.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. The new way is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There are some silly constitutional amendments that never happened, thank goodness. A U.S. constitutional amendment proposed in 1893 suggested the country should be renamed the United States of Earth.
Oh, thank goodness they didn't do that.
There was another failed amendment a few years prior that wanted to abolish the presidency, install a Roman-style triumvirate? I don't know what that even is.
I can't see it, so I don't know.
Triumvirate. I don't know what that is. Anyway.
I don't either.
Apparently, it didn't work in Rome. This has been today's fun fact and John's speaking lesson. If you have a credit card, our friends at BetterCreditCards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com. Now, a news headline from somewhere in this world, Dateline, Mexico. Mexican authorities arrested the notorious cartel boss, El Maro, after blaming him for a surge in violence in the central state of Guanajuato. I have no idea. I should just stop talking today.
It's been a rough one. It's a Monday.
I don't know where this is. I'm not trying to be rude. Seriously, I'm just an idiot, apparently, because I have never heard of this. So the guy is a very violent dude, and he's been causing a ton of ruckus in the central part of Mexico, and now he's been arrested. So there you go. This is a news headline. I'm going to get another email from somewhere in this world.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Don't worry about getting hit by this wildcat. It's stuffed. Police were reportedly called to a park in West Sussex over fears of an apex predator roaming around. Once they arrived at the scene, they saw the supposed panther, and they realized, there's nothing to worry about. It was just a stuffed toy that was left on a park bench. Twitter users were tickled by the news, and they said, what a headline. Panther on the loose clinging to park bench turned out to be a stuffed toy. Possible panther prowls park, another wrote. Funny hashtag Friday Funny they put on it. Police were initially concerned when they sighted a big cat in their car headlights, seemingly attempting to jump over a bench. Reports of a large apex predator in the area turned out to be true, but it was just a stuffed toy.
Must have been a very realistic looking toy.
The attending officers didn't know that at first, so there is a link to this, and I am going to click and see if there's a photo, because now I just wonder. If you'd like to click, it's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Yeah, it does look pretty realistic.
Huh.
Time now for your moment of duh, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Says a police department in Florida and the EMS division had a warning for drivers. Do not attempt to drive with an open candle. According to their... Well, there's a reason.
Oh, my.
According to their Facebook page, the fire started after a fragrant candle that was burning in a car tipped over onto some papers and caught fire. The man driving the car stopped his car and ran for a trash can to fill with water. When he got back, the car was engulfed in flames.
Oh, my gosh.
Fire and EMS crews say they were able to put out the fire, but unfortunately not before the fire destroyed the entire car. Thankfully, nobody was injured. Who does that?
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
If you're going to do it, put it in a cup holder. No, don't even do that. Don't put it in. No open flames. Don't drive around. I got my candle sitting on a plush seat.
Probably works better than an air freshener.
Stacked up on top of a bunch of loose papers.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's a terrible idea. It's today's moment of duh. Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it fake news made up to trick you and amuse me? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Fake news or Florida. Sarasota man arrested after telling police they had a live grenade in his car during a routine traffic stop. Fake news or Florida?
Florida.
It is a true story. I remember reading that. That's been a little while back, but yeah, that is a true story. So they pull him over for something, and then while they have him pulled over, he lets them know, I got a live grenade in here.
Did he really, though?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to, and it was illegal for him to even have it, so that's why he was arrested. But,
yeah, where would one even get a live grenade?
I don't know.
Totally asking for a friend.
No, you don't need to know. If you know, don't tell her. She does not need to know. I've got a link to that story. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. This is going to make Heidi smile so much, and there's a reason. We have a little bit of a connection to this. So here's the headline. Caesar, the no-drama llama, is attending protests in Portland to keep people calm.
Oh, I love llamas.
Yeah, we actually had a drama llama.
We have two
of
drama
them.
llamas.
Yeah. So when our kids were younger, how old do you think they were when we first started doing the silly drama llama?
Probably 10 and
13-ish.
13 or 14.
Yeah. So, and it's just the most ridiculous. She found this llama.
Ugly
Is it
llama.
an ornament? Is that what it was?
No, it's just a little
Stuffed llama?
figurine.
Not a
thing.
very attractive
No,
thing.
it's not at all.
But when they would be getting in an argument about something, Heidi would go grab the drama llama and she'd hand it to him. She's like, okay, you guys work it out over the drama llama. And then everybody would just laugh, and then, things would be better. And then they were fighting over who gets the drama llama someday. So she had to buy
someday when
another.
I die, who gets the drama llama? So I had to go buy another drama llama.
Well, you're not the only one with a drama llama. Caesar, the no drama llama, it says one man is looking to squash tensions at the protest with his llama. Caesar, the no-drama llama, and his caretaker, Larry McCool, I think that's a cool name, they've been attending the protests in Portland to calm and assist protesters and police. Caesar is an actual therapy llama, and he comes from Mystic Llama Farm, Jefferson, Oregon, regularly visits the elderly, schools, and hospitals. And McCool, the guy that is caretaker, decided this would be a good place for Caesar to be. He says they'll be clapping and chanting and stomping, and then all of a sudden I get up there with Caesar, and the next thing I know, everybody's just band around Caesar, and everything calms down. So it says everyone was immediately all smiles as soon as they saw the drama llama galloping in. He says everyone was shocked that there was a llama, but you could definitely feel the positive vibe that he brought to the crowd. So this is really cool. He's been to 10 different events calming people down with his no drama llama. So maybe that'll sweep the nation and we'll see no drama llamas everywhere.
There you go.
All right. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. I have a link to that story in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.